Hello everyone.
Hi Shonam.
Yeah.
I
Uh, Today actually we started with automatic business policies. So the main four components we actually we have.
Mukesh, what you all discussed yesterday? Can you
Yeah,
just
actually
brief
this,
me on that?
yeah, actually I'm just covering it up. That's it only. Actually like that yesterday there was some problem with my Microsoft Office, so I reinstalled that one. So it's fine. So actually I'm just going to do it like 15 minutes onto that SLA only, first 15 minutes, and then we can continue with the routing today. Okay,
Okay.
so yesterday we discussed about SLAs. So one of them actually like SLAs, routing, notification, and finally that delegation. So delegation I will cover after the reports itself. So we'll cover actually like we need to cover routing, then notification, delegation, and reports. So that we need to cover. And then finally like we're going to cover the DCO part, like what are the different parts we are going to see in the DCO. We'll cover that as well. So what is service level agreement? So if we say any task which we need to be done, right, that need to be finished in a particular time. So there will be like for any task when we want to do, like that this meeting, this training session should be done in a 1 hour. Then it need to be completed in a 1 month. If I extended that more than 1 month, then it will become late. Actually, I'm not completed I missed the deadlines. So same way for any task which we create for any process or any case or any uh, within that one step which we are doing any specific one within that case. So everyone has actually like a goal, deadline, and late. So that within the same thing in Pega also we call it goal, deadline, and past deadline. So goal is the optimum time to complete the task. Deadline is the maximum time to complete the task. And past deadline is if it is missed the deadline, how often you want to occur. Actually, like that can be a recurring one. So if you see this, you can see is the recurring one. So past deadline, after the deadline, how long you want to continue same thing. Actually, like the same service level you want to continue, so that we can be recurring one. So when something actually like got breached, like if your goal time is breached, so what exactly we are going to do? What if it is really deadline is got breached? What we want to do? And what we want to take the action during the past deadline? So normally Pega provide two features onto that we call it we can
Mukesh, why is it called past deadline, or is it should past deadline?
past deadline. If you can see this one,
Yeah, yeah.
which means
It,
that
uh,
see you have deadline, right? So you need to finish by today. And if you miss that one, so it means that its deadline is already gone, and you are actually see every 4 hours you want to send a reminder to someone. So you have to do it. You have to do it. So actually every 4 hours for next 2 days you set a reminder. So that actually we
yeah.
call this past deadline or late event.
See down there in the arrow, the arrow which showing there, goal plus 10, deadline plus 10. No, the one which you're showing just now, and then
Yeah,
the
actually
first 1 day
I'm going to
past.
tell you about that is the urgency.
Oh, okay.
Actually, that we are increasing the urgency by 10 in goal, we are increasing the urgency by 10 in deadline, we are increasing the urgency by every past deadline 20 by 20.
Okay.
So urgency is actually see if you say like if it is 0 to 100 and 0 is the less urgent and 100 is the most urgent one that need to be done immediately. So that we based on the urgency we can set the uh, how often we should be it should be picked up by case worker so that they will be need to do. So actually if you see the SLA rule within that we can increase the urgency by every goal deadline or past deadline breached, we can increase the urgency level, and apart from that we can go for the escalation actions. So that if you like in between it will be called an activity to perform an option. So if you want to send notification, so you can notify uh, the case worker who is working on that case. You can notify his manager. You can notify the work party, and there are some other uh, uh, action which can be done, like if you want to transfer it to someone else so he can do it faster, or you want to run some other data transform or some other actions you want to do that. So that will be called as escalation flow. So there are some more activity that required and T8 need to be entered into that. Okay. So that's the thing actually, like when we are, this is the main actually like in the service level action. So the three things: goal, deadline, and past deadline. And whatever we can do from that, we can adjust the urgency and we can call a escalation actions. And one more thing is that SLA can be assigned in different level. You can assign it a complete case level, or you can given in a process level, or you can go for a single step assignment level itself. So three level we can give the SLA rule. And during the how we actually document the service rule. So there is one we should know how often we are going to. So what are the things we need to consider when we are defining the documentation? So there is actually that, like if it is related to the case, we should reference into the respective place. So if it is related to the case level, we should reference the service level requirement into the case level itself. And if it is related to the assignment, we need to mention into the assignment level specification itself. The same thing is actually for specification only, that one. So we need to mention actually whatever the things we should mention, what is actually like time, what is the goal time, what is the deadline time, what is the past deadline time, and what escalation point we want, and what is the urgency we are going to set. So that we need to take care of in the specification. And there are some more technical bit onto the SLA rule as that, like when you want to start the assignment. So it should be start immediately, or it need to be wait for some time. So that actually like we can also set up onto the SLA rule as well. And the one more thing is that, like see, in a case we can have different SLA rule. So everywhere when we are increasing the urgency, that should be consistent. What does mean that, okay, in one assignment you are increasing the urgency by 20, in one place you are increasing the urgency by 5, and one place you are increasing by 10. So if someone see an urgency of 50 for a work item, so you can't actually like, if it's like for item A where you are increasing by 5, that is in 30. If you are increasing by 30, that is 20, that is 50. So both are in the same urgency, but if you increase in the different way in like urgency level, so that will give a different picture of that urgency. So the urgency which we are giving into the across your case, it should be consistent. Okay. So that's all more onto the service level. Okay. So yesterday actually showed you how we can go for that. So if you see your application, and if you go to the case, okay. So first actually if you go to the case level settings, you can see goal and deadline. So here actually we give that goal and deadline. So if you see for here we are increasing the for 2 minutes and 4 minutes. So we can go for, actually if you say it's like 30, not actually it's very low time. So it's again 2-4 minutes is for case level. Actually, yeah, we should give a higher time, just actually but to show that actually if the goal and deadline is based, we can do this part. So this is at the case level, we can assign the goal and deadline, how much time we want to maintain that, and how much urgency we want to increase. So normally in case level, actually if you want any escalation actions, so that need to be taken care by the essays. So we need to consult with an essay if you want to anything onto the case level. And if you go back and if you can see the process, so process also you can see service level agreement. So here actually we need to give the name if you say submit request SLA. So it's going to create a new rule. So there actually if you see, this is the actual SLA rule, how it will look like. So we create an open. And third one, actually, like either you can, if you enter the case and you want to give that, so here we can see. So here, if you see here, there is actually also again we have goal and deadline. If you click onto that, it will show you same goal and deadline, and you can mention the from here as well.
That is at what level?
Assignment level. So this is one assignment or one step, right? This is one step.
Okay.
So within that, I'm assigning some that one. And actually, if you see here, custom, or actually, like custom means actually I want to give it from myself. And if it is something actually existing you want to use, so like there's some as a rule which is already existing, I want to assign that, I can do that as well.
So basically SLA is like alerts, right? I mean, we are setting it up in the calendar kind of thingy. I mean, like,
yes, actually we want to set the yeah, we want to complete the task within that time frame, and if it is not done within that time frame, we are sending some alerts. Yeah.
Okay. So it, depending on how you set it up, the emails can go to your manager or to your director or CEO or whatever, like depending on the...
Yeah, it can be transferred to someone else, or we want to do something else, we want to increase the urgency, so it will be trigger, okay, this item is required high level, so it need to be get attention, so that also we can, yes.
So this is like a one functionality of this.
Yeah. So this one actually, if you can see here, the rule looks like this way. Actually, like it's where we give the initial urgency, and that I told, right, assignment can be start immediately or it can be delayed. We can give actually like when we want to start the SLAs, so that we can do from assignment ready. And this one actually like we want to give the time one, or we want to define it dynamically from a property. So that's actually again the TA will take care of that. And the select action, you can see you have multiple options. So normally we have two options will be visible into the case level. So that will be given by BA role, only these two. And other things, if you require, more technical knowledge is required to do that. Okay. Same thing is like if you have goal, same thing is like for deadline, same thing is for past deadline. And one more thing is that this is the business days. So what does that mean is, so if you say someone is working from 9 to 6, right? And Saturday, Sunday is holiday. So on that time, we don't want to calculate SLAs. So that can be actually, we can include that feature as well in Pega. So if you say it's like we only calculate using the business days, so we have a separate calendar. Actually, Pega provides a feature that is called as calendar. So we can set that up in the calendar, which time zone you are working, and what is the business days, and what is the work timing onto that, and which is holidays as well, we mention into the calendar. So based on that, it will calculate the SLAs. So if you say tomorrow is on holiday, you have one day as deadline. So that deadline will be not calculated for the holidays. So again, it will take the next days to calculate that one. So automatically it can be done from here.
Okay. And which level are we, this one you are at now? This is also assignment level?
Yeah, actually like this information is actually like this rule is same for everywhere.
Oh, okay.
Actually like it's not that actually it's different for all the levels. The rule is same for everyone where you are applying it. So you can apply the same rule in case, same rule in process, same rule in assignment. So it will be look same.
Right. But you open it up from that particular assignment
Case.
or case or?
Yeah, this is actually open from the case. No, this is from process. So I actually created a new one, submit request SLA. So this is at the process level.
Okay.
So if you go back and actually if you have, I can see one place is from here. This is actually is not going to set as a new rule. So this is included within the SAFe. So if I'll go there, I'll show you that. So if you see, going to open that. So this is like the service level, we can give that here. And if you see from, so here, this is the assignment shapes. So if you click onto that one, from there also, whatever the things we have set up, we can see from in this shape itself. So here is that one. Oh, but it should be there, should be stored somewhere, that information. But it's not stored in that one. Okay. Yeah. So this is actually like Pega automatically created this one. Wait for occurrence 68.
Okay.
So if you see, open that one. So it was not referenced from display that one, but whatever the value we have given there, actually like it's created automatically from himself. Wait for occurrence 68. Okay. So there actually like it should look like it with the same way. It looks the same. Nothing, no difference. Actually, if you are calling from the rule, so depend on that how you are setting that values. So that makes the difference.
Okay.
So the rule will be like same, only the thing that like from where you are calling it, so that will be applied to the same label only. So if you applied the service label for the assignment label, it will be act only onto that assignment itself.
Okay.
So that's actually all about the SLAs. So we'll move to the routing now. Oh, I need to save that, and then it will going to take that. So next is actually, if you say routing, right? So what do you mean by routing? So if you say actually in our case, we have submitted the request, right? So that need to be done by the employee who want the leave. So he submitted the request. Now it should go for the approval for the manager and HR separately. So we need to set that, okay, how that request will go to them. Right. So that is like routing of the task, actually how actually it will go to the correct person. So that actually that concept actually in Pega is called as routing. So Pega provides different.
It's not the conditions, right? It's, I mean, it's not like, okay, if this is okay, then go to this. Is that what, or is it how you push it?
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Pega provides a lot of different method like functions or actions, so that you can route it to different person or different specific person. Who is the manager? He can, like, from the database we can get the manager. We can assign it to that manager directly. Or we can actually, like, HR actually, see, HR person, anyone can take that request. So there actually the concept of queue. So we have a work basket. So we want to move that into a work basket. So anyone from the HR team can pick the request from there. And we can put the decision logic as well. So if you say some requests are coming from not from our leave request, so essentially say you need, that I told before also, if an employee is leaving, right, so he need approval from 5 different places. So he need that request need to be routed to 5 different departments. And for each department, okay, anyone can approve from that department, can approve that. So we'll give a different work basket we can consider for each one of the department. And so that is a different concept. It will be called as work list and work basket. So work basket, work list is nothing but the user's personal work list. So that is like we say what is assigned to a specific user. So whatever the, as I say, I've assigned 5 tasks to you. So there will be 5 items in your work list. So that it will be called as, so anything which is actually assigned to a single user, that is be called as work list. So work list doesn't have any physical significance. It will be associated with the user itself. So if you assign something to user, so that will be part of his work list. So work list is not a like any rule or anything. So it is just associated with the user. So whatever that is getting associated with the user, that we call as the work list. Okay. So
basically whatever is assigned from a work basket to a user is work list.
Actually we can assign directly to a work list as well. So directly we can assign to a user directly as well, like without going to work basket. So if you say actually when task is come and actually we know the manager name, right, actually for the user. So we can assign directly the request to the manager itself.
Okay.
So the manager work list will contain the leave request of the employees, his employees.
Okay.
So that's the concept actually will that come. Actually directly we are assigning the task to a particularly specific user. Okay, so he can see his own assignments only. Like he cannot see other people's assignment. Like if it's like there are 2 different managers, so they have their own employees. So if I request, both submitted the request, so one employee like manager can see his employee's leave request, another manager will see his employee's leave request. So no one can see each other leave request.
Okay.
Okay. So there is like different routers are present for that one. So that actually we call as work list routers. So actually we can see that one, and that's still with the dynamic one. Actually we can, based on the decision logic, also we can define how we can route it to a particular user. So if you say in an interview process, so we are taking different candidates. Like for Java, so someone need to take. For if it is mainframe, it will someone need to be take. If it is Pega, someone will take the interview. For testing, someone will take the interview. So one candidate came, if it is Java, so will based on his skills, it will route to that work basket or someone person into that. So that also we can be dynamically we can do that as well. So based on the some decision logic, also we can put the routing into that. So directly in that we call as dynamic routing. So based on the decision logic, also we can route to a specific user. So that's the work list. Next is really work basket. So work basket is associated with a unit. So same thing like told, right? HR, sales, marketing, there are different units can be happen within the organization. So in case of that, actually like that's the pool of tasks. So many works can come. Just give me 1 minute. Didn't close it to, okay, 1 minute. So work basket is it's actually like if you say you have like within a unit there are different tasks are coming, so that will be moved to a single work basket. So that will be called a queue. So normally like it will be assign it to a queue and then user will pull it from there. So someone wants to get the work, so he will put the work from there. So that actually be called as work baskets. So in the work basket is associated with many people, so they can pick the work from there. The next actually we say pull and push routing. So that's the same thing. If you are assigning the task directly to a user, So we are, sorry, it's push and pull. Okay. So push is actually we are assigning directly to the task to the user. So like we are forcing him to do that task. So that actually we can do that automatically we are assigning the task to a single user. So we are pushing the work to a work list of the user, specific user. So that actually we call it push routing. And pull routing is that like if we have assigned it to a work basket and user will take the work from that work basket. So there is actually like onto that work basket is there. So how we are going to take the task? So there actually Pega provide different methodology as well. So they have patented something. So if you say I know okay this task is easy, I can pull it. So Pega doesn't provide that feature. So you cannot do in that way. So if you go to Pega provide a feature called as get next work. That is actually called as next assignment. So which will be like high priority, which need to be done, and there is one routing as well called as skill based routing as well. So for some of the tasks we need to know about the skills. So if you say for a specific task someone need to know German, and if it is actually like there is a German work basket, so all people who know German only can work on that task. No one actually if he doesn't know the German and it is assigned to someone, so he cannot complete the task. So there in that push and pull routing, we have actually another concept is called a skill based routing as well. So that need to be configured by SA. So that need not to be taken care by the B role. So normally we have two concepts actually push, pull, we can do that one. So if you have to actually like forcefully assign the task, actually assign to someone user, that we call it push routing. And if the user need to choose which assignment is going to perform from a queue, that will be pull routing.
Okay.
So these are actually different tips actually when we go for routing. So normally like we should not like we have a lot of different routers. So normally we should go for all the features which are assigning. So I'll just show you that one. What are the different standard routers which is available by Pega. So we can assign to a specific user, we can assign to a different work basket, we can go for a work group or different work parties. And we should delay the manual routing. Like someone actually say we need to wait and then we're going to assign that. So say it is assigned to every time what we are doing, we are assigning it to a work basket and manager is coming in the every morning and he is assigning the task to like based on that, okay, oh this is Java, okay, assigned to this. If it is this, assigned to him. So every morning he's doing. So it's maybe get delayed. Like some one time manager comes at 11 and the technical panel has came at 9 o'clock. So he may wasted 2 hours on that time. So in place of that, if you have already like put the automated routing, that will save time. So we should use the routing automatically. We should not wait for manual actions.
So we don't need a manager then.
No, actually like sometimes we need to tracking of the like how the work is going on. We need to track that. Okay, someone is not there. So that need to be done by the manager only. Like you see, automatically it is assigned to you and like by mistake actually maybe you are on leave or you are not feeling well, right? Actually like then actually the task, whatever the thing that the manager duty is to that to move it to someone else or something. So he can do that part.
Right.
Yeah. So that is like we need to mention all that actually which is in the assignment specifications. So whatever the details we are routing, whom we are routing, and what basis condition we are routing to him, all that we need to mention into the assignment specifications. Okay. So now actually I'm going to show you how we are going for how we do the routing.
Is there any technicality behind the scene for this routing? I mean, when I say technicality means like any, it should be there. Some code and all
Yeah.
that should be known, right?
Yes. If you see here, actually, in the case level when we are doing, actually, if you see, click onto the one of the assignment save. Okay, so you can see this one, route to current user. So if you see, there are different options. So you want to route it to the specific user who is working onto that. So I logged in, I was creating the case, so it will be assigned to me. Okay. And I want actually it assigned to someone else. So if we say a specific user, so whom we want to assign onto that. So all the things, operator which is associated, all the operators, the name will come here. So I can move it to any one of them. Okay. So if you see, I'll show you that actually in that one also. So this is the specific user and this is the work queue. So this is the work basket. So all the work basket which will be associated, it will be displayed here. So this is the all the default work basket available in our application. So this is getting displayed here. Okay. And the final one is actually like the customs. Here actually like all the standard routers which I just told you, right? It will be available here. So if you say this is the work queue, so all the router which is available for the work basket will be available here. You can see this all the things. So this is the different routers which is defined by Pega. So if you say you want to give it to the
What
full
is the two agent? What is that two agent? That's the agent which you told us to,
yeah.
that's a,
So somehow actually if you say it is moved to the agent and from agent it will pick up and start processing some activity from there.
okay.
So yeah. So if it will like if you click onto the agent, it will ask you which agent you want.
Uh,
So that's the parameter. It's like asking for that, like maybe it is the work basket with that agent will be associated with it.
okay.
So there are actually a lot of different options. As if you can see the below, there are a lot. So normally like this is actually two work list. So same thing is it like if you want to go to the specific user. So this is the same thing, that one. And two work group and two work basket, again the same thing actually work queue. This is the work queue. Two work basket is the same thing. In the behind it's moving that the same specific one. So either we can go from here or we can do from there as well. And this one actually I told about the skilled one. So the two skilled group, two skilled work basket. So if you see click to, you want to go to the skilled work basket, so it will ask you the skills as well. So which skill you want to associate with it here. So if you see like there are some predefined skills are there. So say someone need to Java, someone needs to know HTML or German, and so someone who has the skills more than this, like if you say I'm missing the 5. So someone who has skills more than 5, only is going to pick the work from this work basket. No one can else pick the work from the skill work basket. So it's like in the claim. So we have different type of claims like aviation, marine, or like property, casualty, health, right? So based on actually if someone who is actually good in handling the claims of marine, so that actually will go to the marine work basket, and within that also we have different label. Someone is do the entry level, someone will do the more experienced or complex claims. So that person can have multiple level of claims we can assign to the skills level as well. So that based on that, someone will pick the work item from the queue. Okay, so that's the skilled one. And yeah, so that the party decision, and this one actually if you say actually told about this 3, right? to the decision map, to the decision table, and decision tree. So there actually we are using the decision logic. We are trying to get the values out of the whom it should be going to assign. So that also we can use that one.
Okay, this one, this whatever you're selecting is based on the high level selection of that pending request, right?
Yes, that's right. Actually not the pending request. This is the assignment. For that assignment, wait for occurrence.
Okay.
Because routing works with the assignment label itself.
Right.
It doesn't work for any other label. Actually, the assignment which you are doing to assign for someone else, it will be for that purpose only.
Okay.
It is assigned to, but that step is going to be done by whom?
But you mean routing can only happen at the assignment level?
Yes, that's right. So if you see, it's like for HR approval, we are in HR approval, okay, and we want it need to go to the HR approval, HR work basket, okay. So if you see here, I've moved to the work queue, and there is one work queue is available only, okay, and so I can create one work basket as well, okay. So I'm going to create a work, will I go? Okay, I can create one work basket. Will I create and show you out that one?
Yes, sure.
Okay, fine. So if you see, go to the
SLA is on the higher level then.
SLA is three different level. In the case level, process level, and um, assignment level.
Correct.
Yeah. Because the case can be moved to different person, like see within that. So this step is done by like HR. Another done is by manager, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So that cannot be routed to a specific one. The complete case cannot be routed to a different person.
Okay. It's too big for that. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So we see technical. So that will be in the organization one. Okay, we have work basket. I need users as well for that. Okay. So if you see this one, we have default at the rate of AP. So just recopying that one again to save as. So actually I'm just doing this one for HR AP. Okay, and here I'm just doing that HR at the rate of AP.
So it needs to have the @AP or @ thingy there.
Yeah, actually any name which we can give. It's not name we can give anything. I just given that one. It's actually it doesn't any mandatory onto that. So if you see we have created the new work basket, and now if you go to the case level, it will be displayed there. Okay. So I need to one rephrase will go back to there. Okay. So this time HR should be there. Rephrase the same. Why is not coming?
Do we need a refresh or anything?
I did that. It's not coming here. I'll check that one. I'm not sure why it's not coming. It should come here. I can click, or I can go here. Yeah. So this is actually like approval need to be completed by work basket. So here we can see the name will come. Yeah. So there actually we can get that from here. I don't know why it's not coming there. So it's like if you can see that's done, and we can save it. So now it will be going to create a new work basket and HR. So whoever access to that work basket in the HR team can pull the work from there, from that work basket. So if you can see save. Okay. So I'm not sure, it's still like showing the other one because we have changed that from there, but here it's still some, I think there is some hotfix is required for this one. Still it's showing the other one. It should be reflect with the HR one here. Yeah, actually might be this is actually like the version which we are using might not stable. Some of the things are not proper. So this is actually we have one more manager one, right? So here actually we want to go with the manager one.
Okay.
So this is actually we can assign it to the manager of the current operator. So if you see here, so if you see actually like who is the manager, reporting manager. So directly like who will be the reporting manager of that person, automatically it picked up from that employee. So that is one of the actually option is there. If you want to go for specific user, so we can do chase from that one. So this will be going to directly, his manager will be directly going to take that. And for this one VP, we want to go for the cost manager approval. So if you see in this, we have cost center manager, it's automatically set up onto that. So we can make that, he is the division head. So that's actually we can set the cost center manager. So that can be set up, and so this is actually now going to be the specific cost center manager. And one thing actually like we need a set the values in somewhere. Actually like who will be somehow is manager or somewhere who is the cost center manager. So behind the scene we need to set that values as well. So that's the like we are assigning directly to the specific work list. So the reporting manager work list, cost center manager work list. So directly it will go to there. And so this is the example for the push routing. So we are pushing the work directly to the individual person, and there into the before HR we are doing that assigning it to a work list, work basket, and user will, from anyone who has access to this work basket, can pull the work from the work basket. Okay. So that's clear on the routing one. So how we can go for that one. I'm not showing the one more actually creating the case and everything because that much not required for this course. So if it's required, I can see in later if you want to do that, we can see that out. Okay.
Which one is that you said you don't need depth, Mukesh?
This one actually call this automatic business policy is very limited required actually as part of 7.2. If you see 7.2 actually because we have just 7.1, it's 2 months only, like October is going to be finished and 7.1 is going to be retired in next 2 months, and only that after that you can appear for 7.2 only.
Okay.
So I think yes. So this all, whatever we actually have discussed, this one, automatic business policy is completely removed from 7.2.
Okay. So then these functionalities are done by what then?
No, actually it's from the certification point of view it's removed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's already there. Concept wise is the same. Actually it's not going to remove from the Pega. It's there in Pega, but for the certification it was not their part of the course.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so for today actually I'm just closing it little early, so we will continue tomorrow on to that. Tomorrow we're going to see notification, delegation and reporting. So actually I want to finish that one so that the next week we can start with the DCO part. So that actually will complete the initial bit and we can focus onto the DCO on next one. So I'll try to complete that the 3 bits tomorrow: delegation, reporting and notification.
Okay. So that delegation and all that sounds like routing only, right?
No. Delegation is something, if you say, I'll just show you an example for the delegation. Okay. Yeah.
It's like delegating the work.
Yes, not delegating the work. Actually, it's delegating the rules.
Oh, okay.
So if you see, if you have this shape, right? 1 minute, approval process. Yeah. So this you can see have the decision logic, right? Yeah. Okay. So here if you see check leave type. So if we have, what we did is we have used a decision table, right?
Mm-hmm.
And here we have mentioned like okay, family event and okay. So if you see this is the table and in future you have a new leave type is coming up and that need to be part of other. So
Okay.
what we are going to do? Actually, are we going to start a complete new requirement and everything? No, right? So Pega provide that feature, it's like build for change. So if you see this option, delegate, right? So business people can directly change this rule in the from the case manager portal itself. Who have access to that one, they can manage that one. So if you say I'm given to the administrator for the currently, like if we say who are the manager for the time of application, I'm giving that access to them.
Okay.
So they can into the runtime itself in the production environment, they can control this decision table.
Okay.
We don't need to make changes into the development and go for the complete life cycle once again, because the decision can be changed. Everything is actually all set up. We don't need more changes. So it will work with that one.
Mhm.
So that is like we are delegating the rule to the business so they can make changes directly from their end. So if some of the rule like see correspondence, so the emails which we are sending to the users, so that need to be business things how they want to send the mail, right? And in future if you say actually I want to add some more values or some text to the email body, so they can also do that without any effort. So we directly SLAs. So SLA is also one is the rule which can be delegated to the business. So in some time, okay, we see that okay, SLA should be 4 hours. So in future, it like the process efficiency is improved. So they want to reduce to the 3 hours. So that can be done instantly from the user itself.
Okay.
So if you say like go to the manager. So here you will see one more option this time. Now it's coming. Actually, here will be one configuration tab will come after that. Okay, I'll show you that one actually like on the next class.
Okay.
So this is the way actually like once I can delegate that, the option will become here configuration,
Mm-hmm.
and you can actually edit whatever the rules which is there. Some of the rules which is delegated can be changed by the business directly without involving any essays or technical role. So they can manage the rules from their end.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's still the delegation. So we'll cover that up tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, that's it for today. So we'll be closing for today, and then we'll be meet tomorrow. Okay.
Sure.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you
Yep.
for your
Bye.
time. Bye
Yep.
bye.
Have a good day. Bye.
you.